Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. So in today's tutorial, we are using a mold from the Happy Dotting Company, and this is mold number 2. It's probably my favorite size that I use when I'm using my molded rocks. So um, you can get yours if you wish, if you don't already have one. There is a link in the description so you can go there and pick up your own molds and start making your own rocks. So what I did was I painted it black. Actually, I painted it white and because of the colors that I'm using. So I'm putting on the background here and I'm trying to make it look like an ombre effect so that it's really like a bright yellow in the middle, and it slowly works out to this really brilliant orange on the outside. So I'm just blending with my finger daubers there, back and forth to get the perfect blend so that it does look like it's sort of merging into each other and fading out into the darker orange color. So when you're using acrylic paint, you do have to work quite fast because it does dry. So um, that's what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get it to the nice uh, um, color that I want. And oh, I should mention the colors that I'm using. So there's not a lot of colors that I'm using in this tutorial today. So I'm using black and white. And then I'm using primary yellow, which was the yellow in the middle. And then I'm using bright orange, which is what I'm using right now. And that's it. I use those colors in this tutorial and I make a beautiful flower. And I really hope you give it a go as well and try it out. But yeah, I just want to make the background to look so beautiful and bright because of the design that I'm going to be putting on it. So originally I thought, let's make it like a tiger lily as the flower. But once I was done and I looked at it, I thought, hey, this looks more like a black-eyed Susan. So you be the judge. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think it looks more like. If it looks more like a tiger lily or a black-eyed Susan. I'd be really interested to know what the consensus is. So leave me a comment and we will see what we end up with. So I'm just sketching on right now with my General's charcoal pencil where I want the leaves to go. So this is going to be the background, and then I will be painting the flower on top. And I'm using black paint. So I am really going with a contrast here, using blacks and whites, and then just using the bright orange and the primary yellow together. And I'm going to attempt one stroke painting. And you will see once we get to that point that I wasn't very successful. Oh, I always have a hard time with this word. I wasn't all that successful. So I don't let that stop me. If you've been around, you know that I keep going, I persevere, and I like to see where the painting takes me. So you'll see what I mean when we get to that part when I start putting the flower on there. But for right now, what I did was I put 4 petals on, basically doing it like the compass, so north, east, west, and south. And now I'm just sort of painting them all in. Not sort of, because I really am doing it, so it's not sort of. So I'm painting in the petals, and then I'm going to go in afterwards, in between those, and I'm going to paint in a couple more. So I'm going to be doing the southeast, northeast, southwest, and northwest if you want to keep going with a compass. So I will be putting those petals on as well. And then after that, once it's dried, I then go in and I use black and white on one brush, and I do the one stroke painting to give it some contrast. So I've got lights and darks all in one stroke, and you'll see what I mean when we get to that point. which is coming up very shortly. So stick around. So I'm just going to talk a little bit while I'm doing this. So I live in Northern Ontario, and if you've been around for a while, you know this. But if you're new, yes, I live in Northern Ontario, and in the northwest part of Ontario at this time, there are a lot of forest fires, and the smoke drift has reached us, and it is making the sky look such, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a peachy orange color, but it's almost like an eclipse kind of light, if you know what I mean. Like, so when an eclipse happens, you have the sun is being blocked by the moon. And so everything goes to like a darkness, but there's still light. I know that's not sounding very good as a description, but that's how it feels to me right now. Is we have a lot of smoke. You can smell it, and you can see it by the smoke being in the atmosphere. It's kind of putting a block up for the sun, but the sun is so brilliantly orange, and it is so beautiful. And it's Mother Nature's way of, sort of trying to clear the air, or to how things move, or it's just absolutely amazing. So, and if you're been around for a while, you know that I do work for forest fires. So this isn't an anomaly. This is what happens almost every summer. It's just that we've got some really major forest fires happening in northwestern Ontario, and the smoke drift is coming down south. So I am in northern Ontario, but I'm not that far north to where the forest fires are. So the sky is actually very, very eerie, but at the same time, it's very, very pretty. I don't know where you are, if you're getting any of this smoke drift, but it is quite impressive on how, something happening in one part of the world, or even in your province, how it affects everybody else. So air quality is not the greatest. It's hard to breathe outside. Plus, we are in the middle of a heat wave. So, oh my gosh, it's like throw everything at us and see how you survive. But I've been staying cool in my home, and at work, and things are going along. And this is just a typical summer for me, for where I live. So, anyway, so back to the painting. I'm just adding a few little curlicues, and I'm putting on some extra little leaves, and then I let it dry. So with the magic of editing, boom, it's dried, and now I'm doing my one stroke painting with the white and the black. So I get these like some grays in there. So, and it also gives me a light source and a shadow source all in one stroke. So that's why I really like the one stroke paintings. I wish I was better at it, but practice makes perfect. So I will continue to practice that. I still have a hard time understanding how to hold my brush. I watch a lot of Donna Dewberry, and she's right-handed, and I'm left-handed. So I have to take her teachings and throw them into a reverse, so that I try to get the concept by using my left hand. And it's sometimes very difficult, but I do what I can. And this is what I end up with. And I still think it's really, really pretty. It's not as smooth and beautiful as hers. She's also got a lot of years of experience, where I am just starting out with learning this technique. So I started last year when I discovered her on YouTube. And she's an amazing teacher. She goes through step by step. She does it over and over again until she feels that you understand. And if you don't, the beauty of YouTube is you can pause it, you can rewind it, you can start over. It's just awesome. So I'm outlining the petals, or I did, with some black paint, and now I'm coming in with some white paint, and I'm using my fine lining brush, and I'm just sort of accenting or making those lines a little bit sharper. And I'm now going to add some light sources onto those wee little petals there, or I guess they're little leaves. And I'm going to do the same on the two stems that I have there that come down and they join together. And this is just the background. Like, this is not going to be the focal point, but it is what helps your eye draw from the brightness of the background. Then your eyes come in and they reach the leaves of the flower, and those leaves bring your eye into the center where the flower is going to be. You'll see what I mean in a couple of minutes once we get to that point. So it's very beautiful. I love how it turned out. But again, I'm going to repeat myself. I originally wanted it as a tiger lily, but I feel like once it was finished, it looked more like a black-eyed Susan. So let me know in the comments what you think it looks like. And whatever the consensus is, that's what we're going to name it. So right now I've just named it as a orange flower. But once we get the results in from the consensus of what this flower looks like, then I will be changing the name. And let me know if you like this video by giving me a thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you haven't already. And if you don't want to miss anything and you want to be notified when I post something new, make sure you click the little bell and it will do exactly that. So I hope you stick around to the end of this video to see what this looks like. And you can tell I'm trying to do one stroke painting here and it's kind of muddied. So I come in and I'm going to add, with my fine lining brush, I'm going to add some more details. So you can do whatever you need to. This is what I decided. The one stroke painting didn't quite work out for me in the application that I wanted it to. So that's okay. I come in and I use my fine lining brush and I do what I wanted the one stroke painting to do, just to make those petals a little bit brighter. And I come in and I do a stroke on either side of the petal. I do one in the middle with the yellow, and then I come in with the orange in between, and it really makes those petals more predominant and stand out a lot better, because the black behind it is muting the petals when I use the one stroke painting technique. So this is how I fix that. I could wait for it to dry and then come back in again and do the one stroke painting, but I'm a little bit too impatient. So this is what I do is I come in with my fine lining brush and I add my own details the way that I see it in my head so I can get it down onto the rock. So that's what I'm doing here. I think it's a really nice technique. I also come in a little bit later on each of the petals and I add some light sources and some dark sources just by adding a little bit of black or a little bit of white. And you'll see me do that very, very soon. And then I really liked how I did the center as well, and you'll see that. So here I am, I'm coming in with a little bit of the orange color mixed in with a little tiny bit of black, just to give myself a darker orange. And I'm just doing the one side of the petal. And now I'm going to add some of those shadow points in the petals so that it kind of looks like the petal is wrinkled or there's raised areas, so that it looks a little bit more realistic or 3D. And then once I'm done with that, I come in with a light source. But first, I want to know where my center is for my flower. So I used my dotting tool from the Dotting Center. There is also a link in the description for that, and a 10% off coupon code if you want to purchase your own. That's all in the description. So I did that so I could get my center of my flower, and I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. And while I'm letting it dry, I'm sort of outlining the petals to add maybe a little bit more dark sources. And now I'm going to very thinly separate the petals from one another, heading towards the center of that flower. And I find that this really makes it more distinct to say that these are each individual petals. So the center still isn't dry, so I'm going to go in with a little bit more of the light source, and this is the yellow mixed in with a little bit of white, just to give that little bit of extra brightness. I'm doing it on the tips and on the top of each of the petals, just to give it a little bit more brightness. And if this wasn't enough, I do come in with some of my DecoArt Starlight top coat, and it's called Soft Glittering. So this just adds a little bit of blingy to it, especially when it dries. Actually, I'm putting it on right now. So when it dries and I give it a coat of resin, it just glitters. It's so pretty, but it's so, what's the word that I'm looking for? It is very subtle. So you don't really notice it until the light hits it. And then you see all of these little sparkles just glitter like crazy. And I thought it was just a nice little added touch. So now I'm coming in with my dotting stylist. It's one of my smaller ones, and I'm using white paint. Now on the edge of this black dot, it is dry, and that's why I'm able to do this, but the center is still wet. So I'm just doing this on the outsides, and then I will come back in with my dotting tool for the black dot, and I will put that on. And that's about it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope that you leave me a comment on what you think this looks like, Black-Eyed Susan or a tiger lily. And yeah, that's about it. So there you have it, folks. Life is what you make it, so get creative.